Hello, everyone. It's me, Michael, and I have to say I am so sorry that it's taken me so long to do this feedback video. It's just because that for a couple weeks ago, I was a little bit ill, and then on top of that, I went to some wrestling shows last month. I went to about 3 or 4 wrestling shows last month. So, with that being said, I'm going to give you guys my feedback on the recent wrestling shows that I went to last month. And let's start out with IWI show that was back on August 19th. I'm going to give you guys 2 of my favorite matches. So here we go. My first favorite match of that afternoon was Stonehenge versus Damian Graves. I gotta say, that was a great match. Oh my god, those two don't like each other. They beat the hell out of each other. So I was so glad to see 2 big men beating the crap out of each other. I thought for a second they was gonna break that ring, but safe to say, I'm glad that Xavier reinforced that ring, because if he didn't do that, then otherwise that ring would have been broken. So unfortunately, it both men was counted out, and because they just can't stand each other. And my last favorite match of the evening was Heavy Metal Lore defending his IWI Heavyweight Championship against with LW3. That was also a great match. It could have gone either way, but I believe Heavy Metal Lore retained his championship and whatnot. So, oh, and by the way, I was going to chop LW3, but he blocked me. That SOB blocked me from chopping him. And I believe that was the first time that ever happened to me. Because usually, when wrestlers, some of the wrestlers don't do that. And that just happened to me for the first time. So LW3, the next time I see you at a wrestling show, I will be chopping you again. And this time, if you try to block me this time, ain't gonna happen again. Because I am going to chop you. Okay, well, so that does it for that feedback of the show that I went to on August 19th. So now I'm going to give you guys my feedback from the recent NFW show that I went to on, hold on guys, August 24th, back on August 24th. I'm going to give you guys 3 of my favorite matches. So, my favorite match of that evening was Jaden Roller versus Ty the Norseman. That was a great match. It was a great match. I gotta admit, Jaden Roller did give me a hard time, But in the end, I think Ty the Norseman won that match. Yep. And my second favorite match of that evening was Garrison Creed versus Dirty Ernie. That too also was a great match. It could have gone either way, but Dirty Ernie, I believe Dirty Ernie won that match. Yeah. At the end, at the end, both men show good sportsmanship. That's how I like it. So, that was my favorite match of that evening. And my last favorite match was Damon Knight versus Ethan Matthews. Now remember, it was a couple of months ago I interviewed Damon Knight after I forgot what show it was. I believe it was the NFW show. I was just interviewing him for the second time, but Ethan Matthews interrupted my interview, and boy, things almost got out of hand. But thankfully, Greg Hertz was right there to save the day, because if it weren't for him, Damon Knight would have beat the shit out of him. So, I gotta say thank you, Greg Hertz, for saving the day that 2 months ago. But now, with that being said, that was a good match between Damon Knight and Ethan Matthews. And Damon Knight won that match. He defeated Ethan Matthews. I guess he did it for me, because you know what happens when you interrupt my interview with Damon Knight? Oh, payback's a bitch. And Ethan Matthews learned a hard lesson. And I hope he learned his lesson, because if he does it again, trust me, I'll have Damon Knight go after him again and beat the shit out of him again. So, well, that does it for that feedback of that show. So now I'm gonna give you guys my feedback from the recent Bucky Michaels UPWA show that I went to on the 25th. And I'm gonna give you guys two of my favorite matches. So here we go. My favorite match of that evening was Bucky Michaels versus Zach Neal. That was a great match. I forgot who won that fight. I believe it was Zach Neal. So that was a great match. It would have gone either way. I would love to see those two face each other again. So that would be great. And my last favorite match of that evening was the 5-man battle royal to determine who shall be the UPWA United States champion or the UPWA champion. I'm not for sure. It was a 5-man. I forgot who was in that match. I believe the Cola Jacobs was in there in that battle royal. Let me tell you, when he won that championship, holy shit. This kid can freaking wrestle. He won a championship. And Coda Jacobs, I've been so mean towards him as of late. With him winning that championship, I gave him lots of props because he really did work his ass off to get to where he's at today. And him winning a championship, I gotta admit, I was really happy that he won. And I'm looking forward to see who he will defend the title against with. I guess we gotta wait until Bucky Michaels announced his next show. And I can't wait because I will be there for that. So that does it. That does it for this edition of this video, of this feedback video. I'm sorry that I was a little bit MIA, but I promise you, you guys will be seeing more of me because I will be going to a lot of wrestling shows this month. So here are the wrestling shows that I plan on going to this month. Next Friday, I am going to be at the MAW show in St. Paul at the historic Mounts Theater. Okay? That's on September 14th, next Friday. And then on September 22nd, I will be at PWE Pro Wrestling Entertainment Show in Isanti, Minnesota at the Junction Bowl. That's where I'm going to be at. And then on September 28th, I will be making my return to Steel Domain Wrestling in Bloomington, Minnesota at the Bloomington Knights of Columbus. September 29th, I will be making my return to MIW in Roseville, Minnesota. Okay. And I forgot where that's going to be at. But if you guys like my Facebook fan page, Michael Mo, you guys will see what I'm talking about. Where the location of the MIW show for September 29th. And also, on September 30th, I will be going to Midwest Wrestling Elite show in St. Louis Park. That's Danny Duggan's show. And you know what? I've been looking forward to going to his show because I've been talking about it. I've been talking about it ever since it was even announced. And I've been messaging Danny Duggan on Facebook telling him I am super excited about his show. So I really am looking forward to going to his show. It's going to be a big, big, big show, you guys. So hopefully you guys can make it to Danny Duggan's show on September 30th. Because let me tell you something. That's going to be a very big show. I mean, a really big show. So I hope you guys can get there. So, well, you guys take care. Have a great evening. And I will see you guys in the next video.